Family, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Till Corner Podcast. Excited to be here. A lot to talk about today. And this week going around the Jaguars. There's a lot going on. Kat, how you doing?
I am I'm doing okay. I'm here. The Knights won this weekend, so that was fun. And that's about the only good thing that happened. How was
Yeah,
your
same
weekend?
here. Doing all right. Saturday was pretty good. Got to watch Jaden Daniels put on the show, put those Gators, right where they need to be, back in the swamp. And yeah, Sunday, starting at about 1:05 p.m. It was all downhill from there. They got us to where we are now, which is crazy. Let's jump into the game first. A lot to unpack here. Even before the
Yeah.
season started, I knew this was an L. If you follow me on social, you saw the video I put out. If you don't, you can go back to episode 5 in our videos and listen to my predictions. I knew this defense was going to be too much for Trevor. Again, I stated in that video that he's still a young quarterback. I don't think he's ready for those kind of games. That's like a Super Bowl caliber team, like the team to beat in the NFL. That's a top 2, top 3 NFL team with a
Absolutely.
Hey, I know I kind of glazed them a little bit last week. Thanks for that. But I told you guys last week that defense, I hate to be right about this, but that defense is too much for our offense. Our offense is not there yet. The
No.
O-line is not good enough. The receivers are not winning enough. And Trevor was not good enough yesterday. He was a little jumpy in the pocket. O-line was leaky, missing guys, underthrow to Kirk, I don't know how he came back and caught that ball. He kind of trapped it underneath them and they reviewed it and all that. It was a catch, but
Yeah.
that could have been 6. Like Kirk had that guy beat going to the end zone.
Yeah.
Trevor was not under pressure. He just threw it short. Like
Yeah.
Trevor, you have one of the most powerful arms in the NFL. How do you throw that short is like mind-boggling. But yeah, let's jump into it. What are your thoughts from the game?
It was really bad. It was terrible. Um, I also thought that we were going to lose to the Niners. And
Mhm.
at the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way. There's no way we're beating this team. But then they lulled me into a false sense of security with their winning 6 games. And I was like, okay, they were 6-2. That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
5. Yeah, 5 in a row. That's why I was just throwing up the
Oh,
5.
yeah, okay. I
Yeah.
was like, wait, no, they had 6
Yeah,
wins.
yeah.
I was like, I'm not wrong. No, but they lulled me into like this false insecurity. And I was like, maybe we could like do something. But the Niners were coming back at full strength and they just did what they needed to do, which is what a good team does. And the Jags looked, I mean, they just got completely dominated on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. So it was embarrassing. Nick Bosa was right. Their defense was way too much for the offensive line. The wide receivers were getting no separation. Trevor looked jumpy the whole time, and the play calling made no sense to me at all. I'm sorry, you're going up against one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the National Football League. They have one of the best defensive fronts, and you come
Yeah.
out and your 2 opening drives and throw it 3 times in a row. No, that's not how you beat a team like San Francisco. You have to establish the run. You have to. And they played straight into their hand. First off, they got out coached.
Hmm.
The coaching was terrible. The play calling was atrocious. The execution was awful. And I told you in the episode last week that if we
Hmm.
I said word for word, if we turn over in the red zone against a team like San Francisco, we're not winning. And that's what we did. And we didn't win because a team like San Francisco is good. They're an elite team. They're a Super Bowl caliber team. They're probably going to go to the Super Bowl this year.
Hmm.
Honestly, they're insane. And you that's the kind of team that's going to make you pay for that. And honestly, it was good, I think, for the Jags to finally have a game where they did all this bullshit and it bit them in the fucking ass because they've been getting away with it all season. And you know what? You finally didn't. And it shouldn't have. And a loss like this, it's either going to ruin the rest of the season. They're either going to let it
Mhm.
linger and it's going to ruin the rest of the season and the season's over, or you're going to learn from it. You're going to pull up your big boy pants and you're going to go out and you're going to dominate the Titans on Sunday like you fucking should. Even though this is the NFL, it's week to week. The Titans are going to be looking to ruin our season
Mhm.
because, last year we did that to them, so they're going to be looking to do
Yeah.
that. It's a divisional game. You can't just assume that these are going to be wins. And then you have Houston now, who beat
Mhm.
Cincinnati. They're going up against the Cardinals next week, which I don't know if I see them losing to the Cardinals. So it's a very good possibility that the Texans game in a couple weeks is for the AFC South. So they need to get their shit together and quickly. And that's how I feel.
That is all facts. Very hard to dispute
Sorry.
any of that information.
Oh shit.
No, I think a lot to unpack here. I'll start with the offense. Trevor Lawrence struggled yesterday. That's kind of clear,
Yes.
right? Trevor came out
He
into
looked
the
scared.
podium. Yeah, he I wouldn't quite say scared, but he looked sped up. He looked jumpy. Footwork got sloppy.
Let me rephrase it. I think he played kind of scared.
Yeah, kind of hard to dispute that. Looking back on it, I don't think the wide receivers won a lot. A lot of guys posted the chart of separation and all of those kind of things. Evan Ingram was the only person with more than 2 yards of separation
There was no
per route
separation
ran. Yeah,
all
Ingram
day.
Ingram was the only guy on the chart that had separation above two yards, which is like the league average. And Christian Kirk was at the league
Yeah.
average. So Kirk got average separation. Ingram got open. Calvin really was way under. They had Strange way under. They had everybody else way under. Agnew only was out there for a little bit, but Tim Jones, like all of those guys were way under an average yards per separation. So nobody's getting open.
No.
Let's talk about the O line. Anton Harrison, the rookie, obviously Bosa gave him hell.
Yeah.
He couldn't really hold Bosa more than 3 seconds, which most guys aren't going to hold Bosa for more than 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Like some of the greats can, the great right tackles, we've kind of seen that a little bit this year. Bosa got off to a slow start, but most guys aren't. You're not going to hold them down for 4 quarters on a week-to-week basis. It's just not going to happen. That's the reason why this guy's been Defensive Player of the Year, one of the top 5 edge rushers, big contract, all that, blah blah blah. He's
Yeah.
him. Chase Young gave it to Cam Robinson.
Oh yeah.
I think he only got two pressures, and I think one of the sacks came when he was lined up against Cam. But man, Cam didn't look to like Cam's our most physical offensive lineman. And he did
Yes.
not match their intensity yesterday. He spoke about in the locker room. He said they got their ass kicked.
Yeah, that is a
To
correct
include him.
assessment.
Like I'm not sure that's something that's correctable. Um, that's just physicality. You either I'm more physical than you or you're more physical than me. That's not something that you can kind of yeah, people say that's a mentality thing you could flip the switch on, but I think that's physically like I'm stronger than you, I'm more powerful than you.
Yeah.
Um, that's what it felt like yesterday. I don't think it was a mentality thing. I don't think the guys came out scared or the guys came out timid. No, I think they came out ready to go, like Doug Peterson said. They just found out that those dudes were a little bit stronger than they were, which is it happens sometimes. You get out physical.
Yeah.
Uh, moving on to the yeah, we talked about the line, we talked about the quarterback. That's all, whatever it is. Defense. The defensive line in the first half, after they settled in, was pretty fucking good.
Yes,
Um,
that is true. And honestly, if the offense had just played a little better,
mhm.
you would have heard about the game that Trayvon Walker had, which was a good one.
Yeah, that was his best half of football. That first half was amazing, bro. Like he missed the sack where he slipped and ended up on the ground on one. He fucking lit Purdy up as he was throwing for one. The ball kind of flooded in there. So close to being a fumble, which Tyson picked
Yeah.
it up. If he would have got there like a split second earlier, that would have been a fumble.
Oh yeah.
So close, bang bang play. But yeah, Trayvon was solid in that first half. So was Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen had a couple pressures, drew that holding call on Trent Williams. Like that was a
Yeah.
clear sack. Like he He made an inside move late. Purdy was standing right there in the pocket, not moving, holding on to the ball, coming off his blind side, and Josh Allen was about to light him up.
Yeah.
Trent Williams grabbed him, held him, so he didn't get the sack. Josh Allen had like a 24% win rate yesterday, which is like fourth in the NFL for the entire week. I mean, he had a good game
Yeah.
against the best left tackle in the NFL. Hey, Josh Allen.
Yes, I agree. I love Josh Allen. The only thing the defense did yesterday that irritated me, well, they first off, they were playing well, and then the offense just obviously wasn't doing anything. So eventually San Francisco was going to score, blah, blah, blah. But
Mm-hmm.
it bothered me in the beginning when they should have made Brock Purdy pay for the busted coverage play. That should not have been a touchdown to Brandon. That shouldn't have been a touchdown. Oh, God. They should have made him pay for that. And I hate that that ended up in points for them. Really bothered me. But other than that, it's really hard to complain about the defense. They played as well as they could, honestly. And then the game just got away from them because the offense was doing absolutely nothing. So
Yeah, first half, people got to remember the score was 13-3.
oh yeah,
Bro, a
it was
10
still a
point game
game.
going into the
Yeah,
half. It was still a game. Like the defense didn't get their doors blown off of them until late.
yeah.
But yeah, looking at the defense as a whole, Rayshawn was pretty mid in coverage. I mean,
Devin Lloyd got beat
he's
on
not a
that.
fast safety. Yeah, Devin Lloyd got beat 1-on-1. I told you guys last week, George Kittle is a nightmare for linebackers. Like,
Yes.
no linebacker in the NFL is going to cover George Kittle. It's just not happening. Maybe his teammate Fred Warner, but I'm not going to glaze him. Let's just chill on that one. But yeah, no. Foyer, Devin Lloyd, Muma, hell, bring Ventrell Miller IFR. No linebacker on this team or anywhere on any other team is covering George Kittle 1-on-1, 65 yards down the field,
Oh
brother.
yeah. No, no,
It's not happening. He's too fast. He's too
no. He
athletic.
is.
He's too good of a route runner. Yeah, so I think the defense was okay. Foyer was pretty solid. Um, Devin Lloyd kind of took a step back a little bit with the missed tackles. It was a lot of missed tackles yesterday. Like they
Yes.
could not bring guys down to the ground. They couldn't tackle Debo Samuel. They couldn't tackle in space. I don't everybody's laughing at the whole like Darius Williams running from Trent Williams thing in space. Bro, what you want him to do?
Right.
Honestly. Like
Honestly.
he's trying to extend the play. That's why he's running backwards, trying to allow someone to come from the backside angle to make the
Yeah.
tackle. It worked on one of those plays. On the touchdown play, it did not. Could he have potentially went up there, jammed it up, and made a mess, and kind of had to make him bounce off or cut back in or something? Probably, but he also don't want to get himself injured. Trent Williams is like
Right.
210 pounds heavier than this man, so.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Special teams, we saw a kick from McManus, the only
Yes.
points of the game, and
Yes.
I don't think we really had any blunders outside of the Kirk decide not to fair catch it and it got down at the one.
Yeah, but then that would have been a great drive if they hadn't have
Yeah, it didn't
fumbled
have to
it
be that hard
in
though,
the
but
red
yeah.
zone. Yeah, it was, yeah, God.
What are your thoughts on the Kirk fumbles? This is 2 fumbles in the last 4 weeks where he's made a play on the ball, he caught the ball, secured it, turning upfield, trying to fight for yardage and get stripped. Like they're just ripping the ball out of his hands. I am stronger than you. Give me the ball. What do you think of that?
I think that he needs to stop trying to get yards after the catch, honestly. It's getting so irritating. Like and also there's multiple things. He's becoming like as um oh, what's the word? He's becoming like a Jamal Agnew where it's like every time he gets the ball, I'm like, oh God, is he gonna fumble it? I don't know. And then it irritates me that just to kind of like switch sides a little bit, but it irritates
Mm-hmm.
me that Doug said that they didn't want to force the ball to Calvin Ridley because it's like, okay, well, then what's the point? The whole point of having a wide receiver one is that You think they can win. You think they can win the contest. That's the whole fucking point. So we just don't have a wide receiver one. I guess it's irritating. I'm just the whole offense as a whole is just frustrating me.
Yeah, let me circle back on that one regarding the Kirk thing. Kirk is the best receiver on this team.
Yes, that's true.
Um, Even in the preseason, I picked Kirk as wide receiver one in the AFC South. I think they should be using Kirk even more. You saw yesterday against the 49ers, he was the only receiver that showed up over 100 yards through the on the ground or through the air, 100 over 100 receiving yards. Kirk is him. Um,
Yes, I do like Christian Kirk. It's just that the fumbles are becoming a problem.
Yeah, he has two bad fumbles. He isn't a historic fumbler though. Like he
He's
never really
not.
had fumble problems in Arizona. Last year he had some drop issues, especially with the deep
Yes,
balls.
but he didn't have
But
fumble issues.
no, he didn't. He cleaned the drop issues up, and now it's a little leaky with the fumbles. I think I commend him for fighting for yards after the plays. It's the NFL. He's trying to put everything on the line to get as many yards for this offense as it can because they need all the help they can get.
Yes,
We seen him be great after the catch. He's the reason we won the game in New Orleans because he
it's true.
fought for yards after the catch. But
That
yeah,
was that was honestly just me making a joke. I'm sorry.
no, no, no,
It
no,
didn't land
no,
well.
no. That's not for you. I think everybody on Twitter is talking about that. Like Kirk gotta learn how to just go down, and it's like, do you really want your receivers to just catch the ball and start going down? Like
Yeah,
that's not
no,
good
obviously not.
football. Yeah, but some people are actually under that logic and impression, like he's doing too much. He just needs to take the gain and fall down. I'm like, yeah, it's not the
He's
NFL.
not
It's
going to
not
do
how it
that.
works. Yeah, not too many wide receivers in the NFL just give up on a play like that when they think they have
No.
a chance. Um, but yeah, it's both plays too. He tucked the ball and held on, and it still got ripped out. So I'm not really sure what to say there. But he's protecting the ball. It's not like he's being like loosey goosey and trying to run like freaking Brandon Marshall with the ball out on his forearm like some guys. But yeah, I'm not really worried about the Kirk fumbles, but they do need to stop. The
Yes.
Bigsby interception tip drill.
I have an opinion about that some people might not like.
My opinion is that's a 50-50. Half of the blame goes to Trevor, half of the blame goes to Bigsby. Um, Playing football, if you've worn shoulder pads, you know it's hard as hell to catch over your helmet. It's just a hard catch. Especially he was literally 3 to 4 yards away from Trevor, and he threw him a high fastball, which Anton Harrison got beat on the play. It is what it is. Like that whole play was just bad. It's just bad at every level. Bad at the O line, bad at the quarterback for trying to force that when he should have just threw it out of bounds or threw it at his feet. Bad on Tank for not making a play for your quarterback when the ball hits you in your hands. Bad, bad, bad.
Yes, I agree. I was gonna say I think it's on Tank because if the ball hits you in the hands as an NFL
Yeah,
player, I do think you need to be catching the ball.
yeah,
And I also think it's on Trevor because he was literally like 3 yards away from Tank and just threw him a laser. And I was like, okay, like that's obviously not gonna go well.
yeah,
And that's one of the things that Trevor's got to learn. This is really the
yeah,
one thing that we've talked about is
yeah,
over and over again is he tries to do too much. He's got to learn when to just eat it and throw it out of bounds. Just the play is over, it's done. Nothing's going to happen. Just throw it out of bounds. Just do that. And he just doesn't he like thinks that he can do something. It's like okay, but every time that you think that so many times that Trevor tries to do too much, it ends in a turnover. So that tells you you either need to take the sack there or you need to throw it out of bounds. So he's got to learn that. He's in his third year and it
yeah,
shouldn't still be happening. I love Trevor. I'm like Trevor's biggest fan. You know this about me. I
yeah,
am a Trevor Lawrence defender, but at the end of the day, uh, he's going to get a lot of criticism this week. The whole team's going to get a lot of criticism this week, and there's nothing that fans can say about it because they deserve literally all of it. So, you just got to eat the national media criticism. I don't really know why so many Jags fans care what the national
Mm-hmm.
media thinks, but they seem to for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And the national media is going to shit on them today, which is already over. They're going to shit on them today, and then they're not going to talk about the Jags for the rest of the week because no one gives a shit about the Jags Titans game now on Sunday.
Oh yeah. No, no,
Like no one cares about that anymore.
no.
So the Jags need to go out on Sunday, take care of business, and beat down on a team that they should be down on. But at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, like we spoke about earlier, it's a divisional opponent, and saying you're going to go out and beat down on Tennessee is so easy to say, but it's the NFL, and also Tennessee has a good defensive line. So, they're going to be looking at that film that San Francisco just supplied them with to
Mm-hmm.
show them to shut down our offense. And the offense has just got to get their shit together. Like, this is just, it's ridiculous at this point. It's I'm tired of hearing like oh, well, the offense is gonna figure it out and they're gonna have a big game. And it's like, okay, well, it's week 10 now, so when's that gonna happen?
Yeah.
Um, but I did not think that the Jags would win this game. I'm just really annoyed at how embarrassing it was. I was hoping that this was going to be like a close game and like it was going to be like a back and forth touchdown thing, and the Jags just got completely embarrassed, and I just need them to learn from it and go on like another little win streak or whatever. And I need the
Mm-hmm.
Trevor from last year who, beat the Ravens and the Cowboys. I need that quarterback back. Where is he? He needs to come back.
Yeah, that's what I said on socials too. Was looking back and it's like I miss my quarterback.
I love
Yeah, let's
Trevor.
talk about Trevor Lawrence for a bit. Love Trevor.
I do
Um,
too.
Huge Trevor defender.
He's
But
still a franchise quarterback. I will stand by that.
oh
I
yeah.
like,
Franchise for sure. That's
yeah.
that's
We're not
obvious.
we're not going there.
But
Some of these
let's have the conversation about the word elite though.
well,
I
he's not
don't
right now.
no, I don't think he's been elite all season. Really since the season started. Obviously we got off to the 1-2 start. No big performances from him there. His best game performance wise, stats wise, was probably the Bills game where the only game he threw for over 300 yards. I mean, I don't know. I have a hard time putting him in that category, saying that Trevor Lawrence is elite when we see all the guys that we said were elite come out and pretty much play at least to their some form of their standards and their stats. There's no consistency with Trevor Lawrence. His entire what is he? How many games? 17, 17, 10, 17, 17, 9. How many games is that? I don't even know, but there's been no consistency. Every week, it's been a different Trevor almost, even through the 9-game stretch. It wasn't like 9 perfect games of 100 plus passer rating. I don't know, man. Love Trevor. He's going to figure it out. No doubts about Trevor. No trepidations or second thoughts or nothing. Like Trevor's him. He's our franchise quarterback. Ryan with Trevor to the wheels fall off. But I think we might need to chill with the top 5 stuff, honestly. Just let him figure it out. Let him develop. Let him get there. I keep telling you guys, Trevor's a young quarterback. I think we were just premature on the top 5. That's it. That's the only thing I got to say about it. Um, Trevor never said he was generational, a once in a lifetime prospect. He's never said that. The media put that tag on him. I think it's kind of unfair. But we also bought into it. Like we thank Frank Gore for giving us the greatest thing since sliced bread. And Frank Gore was at the game this weekend, and
Yeah, I
fans
saw
have
that.
videos screaming at him. Thank you for Trevor. Shout out to Frank Gore, man, because we could have been stuck with Zach Wilson or Fields, which I don't think are very good. But yeah, man, people got to chill with the Trevor sucks stuff. He doesn't
Yes.
suck, but he has had some sucky games, if that makes sense.
Yes.
In
Like
year
one on
3,
Sunday.
yes, like the one on Sunday. And I just think back, like even to last year, Trevor had some bad games, man. Like the Broncos, that Eagles game where he fumbled. What was it? Four lost
It was like
fumbles.
4 or 5 fumbles. It was really bad.
Even when Trevor got hot, like that four interception game, as
Yep.
great as like we I mean, we won the game, right?
Yeah.
Winning the game is what matters. Whatever the hell happens, it is what it is. But even if you go back and look at that performance, that wasn't a great one by Trevor in the first half. So,
No.
um, when's the last time Trevor played 4 good quarters?
Hmm. I'm trying to think. Me, it's gotta be like the Houston game, I think, from last
The
year.
the Houston away game last year,
I think that's
and
it.
before that, it was the Chargers game where James Robinson was doing his thing.
Oh yeah, that was a
Um,
great game.
and we blew them out. Yeah, with the
Mhm.
Justin Herbert rib injury game, whatever the hell they want to say about it. Put the
Yeah,
asterisk
yeah.
on it. But yeah, Trevor doesn't play a complete game still in the NFL in his third year, which is a little concerning. But I think overall the body of work is there. There's been more than just flashes. He's showing you that he can do it. I think Doug just gotta get him going, man. We all thought he was an MVP conversation, and he's clearly not in the MVP
Oh no,
conversation.
no, no, not at all. Not at all. Not even a little bit.
But yeah, I'm moving on from that. Ryan with Trevor, it is what it is. He'll
Yeah,
figure it
no.
out.
I
All the
love
faith in
Trevor.
him. He's made of the right stuff, man. Even after the game, he's like, "That's on me. One of my worst games as a pro." Like that's all I need to hear, bro. Like he takes accountability. He doesn't shift the blame and say the O line or the receivers or anything. Like I'm sure they probably have discussions, behind closed doors. But he comes to the podium. He takes the blame for what he has. He says he can't turn the ball over. He admits him. Like that's all I need to hear from QB1. We've had quarterbacks here that couldn't stand to the podium, couldn't take the heat, didn't want to take all the accountability, and you could tell it's different. I love Trevor.
No, I love him too. I definitely agree with the generational thing. I think that's
Mhm.
in general one of those words. Okay, so there's like this thing where people just like say words and they kind of like
Mhm.
start to lose their definition over time and like their
Yeah.
meaning. And in the football world, that is one of those words. Like
Yeah.
people throw it out so quickly now, and it's like, okay, okay, like chill, maybe. And it's not the player's fault if the media is like, oh,
Mhm.
this player is going to be generational. And then m- my biggest issue with the Trevor stuff, especially with like, I don't give a fuck about what the national media thinks,
Mhm.
but a lot of times it feels like they want him to suck because the Jags drafted him.
Uh, It's obvious. I mean,
Yeah. Like, and as a Jags fan, like it's really frustrating, especially when you see the actual fan base. There were like, okay, so one of the things that I like to do is I get on my Twitter and I say
mhm.
like random shit, okay? I'm not being serious like 90% of the time. And if you actually take me seriously, that's on you and not on me. But
Mhm.
there were like multiple like Jags fans who like got onto Twitter after Trevor's bad game. They were like, "Oh, is he good now? Is he leading wins now?" And it was like, "Are you a Jags fan? Because why are you the one who's doing this? Because like, I'm
Yeah, we
sorry,
get a
what?
we get enough shit from national media. We don't need to
Like,
add
what the
any fuel
fuck?"
to that. Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but if you call yourself a Jags fan and you're like antagonizing other fans because I like our quarterback, like go fuck yourself. I can admit he had a bad game yesterday, okay? I'm with you and I love Trevor. I love him a lot. Is he top 5 at the moment? No, he's not. He hasn't been top 5 all season.
Mhm.
So it
Yeah.
is what it is. Oh well. He's not in the MVP conversation. He's not going to be in the MVP conversation.
Yeah. That ship is
I
sailed.
mean, that's gone. That's not happening. Uh, but I would like to see him turn it around for this he's got to get the team back on track. He's got to get his swagger back. He's got to get his confidence back. And I think he can do
Hmm.
it. And I think that they got to figure it out. If I look for
Yeah,
it.
I just want to touch on a few things, and then we'll get to some crazy news that came out today. But yeah, circling back on that, the national media don't care about them.
Same.
It's weird though. Like I don't care about them when they're being negative because I expect that from them. But then when they kind of switch up and start praising us, I do kind of like enjoy the retweeting and those kind of things
Nah.
when the national media does come around. I will say this year, Trevor Lawrence did get a lot of hype and praise. Cal Brandt thought he was tier 6, which whatever, but we've seen guys like Stephen A. Smith come around on Trevor, Dan Orlovsky come around. Like a lot of the big national media guys came around, even on Good Morning Football. Hell, Cal Brandt came around last week and said Trevor Lawrence was the real deal. So, and the Jaguars were the real deal. So we've seen so many people come around. So I I feel like national media wants him to be bad because it's the Jaguars. But when he is good, they do switch up and say he's good. So I got to give him the credit a little bit there just
Yeah.
because even the guys that said he was tier 6 and all of that stuff, they came back and said, no, he's good. So I don't know.
Well, the one thing they will at least give Trevor is he makes some tough throws.
Yeah.
He makes some throws that not a lot of quarterbacks can make. And that's been true in this season. Even if he
Yeah.
doesn't have like the flashy stats or anything, there have been a couple games where he's made some throws where it's like, oh shit. Like, okay.
Yeah, no, that's why I says like even the pass where really was running that route and the two defenders literally ran into each other and the
That
ball
was
got it was
fucking
a
beautiful.
seed. Like that's still the best throw made this season. I haven't seen the throw more impressive yet. Um, and that's where that generational tag comes from. He has crazy arm talent to do that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like he misses the easy things, and he's been doing that since his rookie year. He
Yes.
misses seeing guys wide open. Britton Strange had 2 big plays yesterday. That was a miss. A backside dig route to Calvin Ridley. There was no one within 7 yards of him. Trevor missed again. And he on that play, he threw in the triple coverage to
Yeah.
Christian Kirk and tried to draw a flag. Like you're throwing in the triple coverage, but if you literally look 20 degrees to your right, Calvin Ridley is wide open for a 15, 20-yard gain. So it's
Yeah.
just the little things. But let's get into the big news of today. Zay Jones arrested, misdemeanor battery with cause of bodily harm per the city of Jacksonville Police Department. What do you think?
I think that he got arrested when he was in Buffalo too. And like that hotel footage exists. I was
Of
like on
That's of
Twitter.
him running naked, right?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
he and his brother got in like an altercation and he was naked. And there was like it's weird. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
wasn't he rumored to be on drugs at the time?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was high or drunk. He came
Yeah,
out and he
he
spoke about it
looks
though.
like
He
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 was
put like
drunk.
a whole thing out about it. I remember in the off season he
Hmm.
did like a testimony thing and talked about his mental health battle and
Yep.
the alcohol abuse and those kind of things. Like he spoke on it. So it's not like this guy. I mean, he is a high character guy. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
Like Zay is, they call him like a church boy and this and that. Like he's a high character guy, but he's not perfect.
I think it's also good to remember uh in instances like this because there's so many people that were like online that were like, I thought that like Zay Jones was a good guy, and it's like we don't know any of these people.
Yeah.
You do not know any of these people. You do not know their personal relationships. You don't know them. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors, and that's just
Hmm.
the matter of the fact. Like, yeah, maybe publicly he seems really nice and he's really nice to fans. It doesn't mean a damn thing.
You know.
I am really upset about it, because, well, first off, if he, like hurt another, like a woman, which is what it sounds like,
Yeah.
that really upsets me as a woman. And then on top of that, it's just such a like old Jags thing to happen. Like this is
Yeah.
like bad Jaguars. This is what they did.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that because it's gonna cause too much pain. But
I know.
yeah, I'll
But
say
like that's where
this
my
about the
first mindset went. I was like, oh, the Jags are back.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
no.
no, a lot of PTSD there, as we know. But
Yes.
yeah, I don't want to put too much stock into this, but it's definitely stock into this. Obviously, there was enough to make an arrest, but we've seen time and time again, though, where the accusations have been false, the charges have been dropped. We've seen this over and over and over again. We even saw with Chris Claybrooks on the first case. Um, so I mean, like you almost have to kind of hold your breath and wait to see if there's validity behind it because we've saw with our own team this year that one of the cases have been dropped for the exact same accusatory offense.
Yeah.
So it's almost like hold off a bit. Um, but yeah, I don't really want to judge too deep into his character. I know Zay is a man of faith. I know, all of those kind of things. He speaks about his beliefs openly. I I don't want to say I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm just gonna put a hold on it. But it sucks because Doug just spoke today about how bad they miss Zay. They've been
Yeah.
speaking for multiple weeks about how bad they need this guy back. And for him to even be in that situation today, after
Yeah.
what just transpired, after you're now back on the practice field, as you're finally getting ready to put the pass back on and go help this team make a postseason run, for this to happen now, that says more to me than the actual accusation itself.
Yeah.
Um, Again, we don't know the situation. We don't know if he was provoked or what happened, but you still don't make excuses there. If it ever
No.
comes to that point for our viewers, just leave. It's never worth it. You'll never win. It's never going to feel good. Just stop. Just leave. Avoid any physical altercation as best as you can. Avoid, leave. But yeah, the I'm gonna give them a two hands in the air pause until we get some validity. If the team comes out and say, or if Zay comes out and make a statement, or the police, if they have a statement of him admitting to causing bodily harm, which is what's on the report, then the NFL is going to do something about it.
Yes.
Zay Jones may not be available Sunday if more information comes out this week. Details will follow this week. We'll know.
No, yeah.
Um, they may put him on a temporary suspension until his case is figured out. The same thing they did with Claybrooks. I mean,
Yeah.
we
Very
don't know
possible.
what this may snowball into, or it may be an Alvin Kamara situation, or I don't even want to get into the whole Ray Rice and all of the other stuff. I think those circumstances are way different. But he may get
Yeah.
suspended. He may get suspended.
Yeah, no, the Ray Rice situation, that was a whole video of him like
Yeah.
actively abusing somebody.
Yeah, no, that's why I said I don't even want to get into the rest of the stuff. Like, there's been many NFL players arrested for the same type of accusations over the last 5-10 years. And the NFL does not play with these. They will suspend you quick. So yeah, I think it happened in season changes it, but hey, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that was another episode of the Till Corner podcast. We will catch you next week.
Bye.